Hello everyone, Maestro here. I am the football enthusiast. Hope you're all doing well. Alright, so today's video is a bit different. I have no background music. I have nothing I want to talk about, but it's something that I feel like I should talk about and make a video on because it's a situation in the world of football. And it's the Mason Greenwood situation. So for a while now, I've seen a couple months now that since February, when Mason Greenwood's charges were dropped, and by the way, i.e., his charges were rape. His charges were dropped against him. A lot of people have been wondering when will Greenwood, or if will he Greenwood return back into football, and it's caused a lot of controversy, a lot of stirs, and over the past month it's been getting more steam, and today we have this. So The Athletic reported that the Manchester United chief executive Richard Arnold, he told his senior staff 2 weeks ago that the club were planning to bring back Mason Greenwood, and he also intended to record a video explaining the decision. We also learned that in other reports that the players at United were going to support this return and give Greenwood his support, and that apparently Ten Hag was also going to give him his support and he wanted him back. And then after this came out saying that, Greenwood is going to come back, blah blah, United gave their statements essentially saying, we haven't made a decision yet. We're still thinking things out, but we'll get into this statement in a bit more detail in a bit. But yeah, just to let you guys know, if you don't know already, this whole thing happened a while ago. I don't know how long ago, but a recording was put out into the internet, recording of hearing Greenwood commit some very heinous crime, essentially sexually assaulting this woman many times. And by the way, the evidence is damning. This is a closed and shut case. It's clearly obvious that he sexually assaulted this woman and you can go back and see the recording for yourself, but essentially we hear throughout this recording many times the woman saying, I don't want to do this, and by the way, this being, the deed, and Greenwood's response being, I don't care, we are going to do this. Not in those exact words, but you get what I'm saying. And essentially the woman saying no, Greenwood saying, I don't care. We heard that multiple times throughout the recording. It's a hard recording to watch. And yet, like I said before, it's damning evidence. We don't need to know anything else to suggest that clearly this woman was sexually assaulted. There's nothing else that needs to be said here. But it developed in a very weird way. In February, the charges were dropped against him. Not only that, we learned that Greenwood is now back with that woman. They are together, and in fact, they are expecting a child, or maybe I think they might already have a child. And it's a very twisted situation, but either way, that leads us to where we are now, where he could be about to return to football very soon. And my opinion on this is that I hope not. I hope he does not return to football. I wish not to see a man that has sexually assaulted another woman playing football. Football is a luxury. I personally think football should be only for the good, for the kind-hearted, for the good people. Greenwood has proven himself to be a man that would sexually assault a woman against, that would have intercourse with a woman against her will. He has proven himself to be that kind of man. And I do not wish to see that man have such a luxurious career like football. Being a football player is a luxury. Being a Premiership player is a luxury. Being a United player, putting on that shirt for United, even as an Arsenal fan, I can say, for United, it's still a luxury. It is an honor that should only be bestowed on the good. And Greenwood is of the bad. Now, for those that are saying, well, what about redemption? What about he can improve? Look, I'm sure he can. Yes. And maybe he has already. But ultimately, football is a job that's extremely luxurious. And when someone commits a heinous thing, you can redeem yourselves, yes, but at the end of the day, you still committed that thing. That thing is it's still there. It's still out there. And in the case of Greenwood, where you're in the public light, that thing you committed, sexual assault, and getting away with it, can be very harmful to other victims out there around the world, because you are in the public light. There are women and men too. This is not just a woman thing, but men too who have been sexually assaulted, but are afraid to come out. And if they see that this famous man who clearly, clear as day, sexually assaulted a woman and is now scot-free, making millions of pounds, that will be very, very harmful to them and to the future victims. All right, so I don't want to see him play football. He does not deserve that. Maybe he's a good guy now. Maybe he is, but he still did that thing, and the consequences should be he should never ever be able to have a luxurious career like this ever again. He should not be allowed to play football professionally. This is a luxury for the good, not for the bad. And I now want to, so I give my thoughts on it, and I want to move to United's statement, and it's kind of a joke. So let's read through all, and then we'll point out which ones I want to talk about, which paragraphs here. So, following the dropping of all charges against Mason Greenwood in February, United has conducted a thorough investigation into the allegations made against him. This has drawn an extensive evidence and context not in the public domain, and we heard from numerous people with direct involvement or knowledge of the case. Throughout this process, the welfare and perspective of the victim has, they say, alleged victim, which is crazy. Alleged? What do you mean alleged? It's clear as day. Alleged victim has been central to the club's inquiries, and we respect her right to lifelong anonymity. We also have responsibilities to Mason as an employee, as a young person who has been with the club since the age of 7, and as a new father with a partner. They're trying to get some sympathy points there. The fact-finding phase of our investigation is now complete, and we are in the final stages of making a decision on Mason's future. Contrary to media speculation, that decision has not yet been made and is currently the subject of internal deliberation. Responsibility ultimately rests with the chief executive officer. Once made, the decision will be communicated and explained to the club's internal and external stakeholders. This has been a difficult case for everyone associated with United, and we understand the strong opinions it has provoked based on the partial evidence in the public domain. We ask for the patience as we work through the final stages of this carefully considered process. So there's a few things here that's very, very laughable and just stupid. First of all, alleged victim. Allegedly, she was assaulted. What? I'm sorry, what? Like, if you see a recording of me stabbing a man in the face in 4K, you can see my face. Did I allegedly stab him, or did I stab him? Even if I'm off scot-free somehow. Like, there is a recording of where he clearly sexually assaulted a woman. So alleged, get out there with that. As a new father with a partner, they are trying to win sympathy points here. That's just pathetic. And the craziest one is right over here. So in this paragraph, they are essentially saying that they have found new evidence and context, not in the public domain, that essentially, if it was in the public domain, that it would put Greenwood in the right light. Now, they're not specifically saying that it would put Greenwood in the right light, but clearly that's clearly what's going on here. All right, clearly that's clearly what they're implying here, that there's new evidence that we don't know of, that they found, would alleviate Greenwood of all of these, heinous crimes. Which I've got to say, what could that possibly be? What could there possibly be that that we don't, that makes him not be a rapist? Like, what? Because we have, like I said before, when this first came out, the case was shut and closed. It was clear as day that he raped a woman. So what could you possibly be telling us? Sorry about that. What could you possibly have learned to alleviate him from all of this? What? I'm trying to use my imagination and I can't think of anything. So that's just complete BS. And I really hope we do learn what that news is. And if they do show it, can't wait to laugh. But look, that's kind of it, guys. I don't really have anything much else to say. That statement from United was embarrassing. Richard Arnold is a moron. If they actually, and also I want to say to Ten Hag, and the players are supporting this. Look, Ten Hag actually has a history of supporting in men or committing inappropriate behavior with women. Overmars and Promise from Ajax. Well, I think Promise. I'll just say Overmars. He spotted him essentially, and also now Greenwood. Look, he has a history with this, and I've got to say it's embarrassing and upsetting. And I hope that it's not true that he wants him back. And to the players who also want him back, I don't know what the hell you guys are thinking, man. But look, we will see as this develops. I don't think he should be allowed to play football. Football is a luxury. For me, I'll end it with this: football belongs to the good, not to the bad. Have a great day, guys, and as always, take care of yourselves.